Hi, it's Nicole McGork with this week's From Start to Finish video brought to you by 2peasinabucket.com. This week I have a 2-page layout to share with you. This week I'm going to do a layout for my Christmas cards and from Friends and Family album, and I know it's springtime and it doesn't seem like this is a good time maybe for a Christmas page, but I like to keep caught up with my album. And this is an example of last year's layout. There's one side and the other. And generally these pages are just a lot of photos. You see one here. And minimal embellishments and a little bit of journaling here on the other side, where I list who's in all of these photos, and then I just add a couple of embellishments here and there. But the emphasis is on getting those photos put in an album. Here's an example of another page. Sorry about that glare. And anyway, so today I'm going to put together one of those pages. Now, because I get quite a few photo cards each year, I have been doing two-page layouts the last couple of years. And what I do is I've already separated, kind of figured out the design that I'm going to use, but I have a whole bunch of other photo cards here and some more over here, I guess, that I have set aside. They're going to go for the second page, which I'll share sometime here in the future in the From Start to Finish series. But for this page, I've picked out the photo cards I'm going to use, and what I generally do is pick one maybe that's bigger than the others for whatever reason. There's really no rhyme or reason. For this particular one, though, this is my brother and my new sister-in-law, and so I'm going to keep this photo fairly big because I don't really want to trim it down too small. I could if it fits better on the page, but I wanted to keep it bigger, so I have that one. And then I have all of these photo cards that I'm going to trim down. Took my ruler here and I just pre-measured all of them. I want them all to be 3 by 4, so I just made sure that these would all work within those size constraints. So I've got all of these photos here that I'm going to do trim to 3 by 4. And then I have a whole bunch of photos that will work that are smaller, and I don't always use all of them, that I'm going to trim probably about 1.5 inch square or maybe slightly smaller. So I have a whole bunch of those and a few over there if I need more as I get started working. So you can see the layout is going to mostly be photos. For my paper, I have picked some of the Wintertime collection from Echo Park, and this is just kind of a ledger style paper. It has the cute journaling cards on the other side. I'll need somewhere where I can print out who is in all the photos once I get the layout all designed. So that's kind of what I'm thinking for the ledger. Then I picked a nice coordinating kind of distressed look brown solid, also from the Echo Park Wintertime collection. This is a blue kind of floral paper from the Everybody Loves Christmas from Echo Park. It's a different collection, but I was going with the red and blue theme for this particular page. Another one from the Wintertime Echo Park collection. This is a nice red, and I don't know if you can see it there, but it has like a little line there, little kind of grid design. Very faint, so it's a nice, almost solid red. And the next one, this is from the October Afternoon Very Merry collection, and this is not new or anything like that, but I liked it. Was another blue that tied in with this blue, pardon me, and also the red, so I like the combination of patterns here. And then this is from the Good Cheer October Afternoon collection, and it's just a nice red and white kind of peppermint style stripe. So those are the papers I'm going to be using. For my embellishments, I pulled out this little circle tab from Jelly Bean Soup from one of their collections, their little journaling sprouts. These tags from American Crafts, I like the colors in these. I think this is a Valentine's collection, but I thought the colors worked nicely with this. I'm going to use this brown sticker tab probably to stamp my date. This is from the Very Merry October Afternoon collection. You can see I've cut apart a lot of these. I've used up a lot of them, but I'm going to use that tab there. I'm going to use probably this blue sticker here to either print or stamp some additional journaling. Or maybe this one here, this has got a little blue snowflake on it. And then perhaps maybe use this sticker. I haven't really decided yet. So just some October Afternoon stickers and some little tags there for embellishment. And then for the stamping this week, I chose several sets. This is the Say Cheese 2 from Lawn Fawn. And one of the things I like about this is it has all of the months here, plus numbers to add the date. And also has the word friends and the word family. So I usually put something about these being Christmas card photos from friends and family. So there's a lot of nice ways you can incorporate this into any of these into a scrapbook page. Also, I pulled out the Hero Arts Christmas greetings here. I thought I might use some of these on my page as well. And then I was thinking that these little snowflake square stamps from Hero Arts would be perfect to fill in when I make my border of small photos. If I don't quite have enough, I thought I could fill in with these cute stamped snowflake squares. So now that I have shown you all of the products that I'm going to be using this week, let's get started putting the page together. The first thing I need to do is crop all of my photos, and this is pretty time consuming, so I'm going to speed through it and cut a bunch of that out. But I am simply cutting all of the 3x4 photos to size here. Making sure that they're all exactly how I want them. And I do tend to make sure I take my time here. You don't want an error because that will kind of be a problem. I've done that in the past and it's not as easy to fix. Here I'm going to make the other photos smaller, and the one in height, they're just slightly smaller than 1.5 inches. That just tended to work for like my smallest photo. I usually go by the smallest photo and then judge from there. So they're about a little less than 1.5 inches by 1.5 inches. And not all of them. Some of them are 2 inches and some are 1, just however they worked. Now I'm going to cut a couple of strips from this October Afternoon paper with the polka dots, and I'm going to cut that at about 3/4 of an inch wide by 12 inches long. I'll need to trim a little bit off the length here in a little bit. And then I'm just going to cut a really narrow strip from this stripe, the red and white stripe. Cut a couple of those. And instead of the brown, the solid brown that I was thinking I was going to use from the October Afternoon paper, I decided to go with the color on the other side, which is the blue. After I got to playing with it, I decided that the brown really just wasn't what I was looking for. I didn't think it went as well with that blue paper there on the left or with that blue and red polka dot paper. So I'm using the solid blue. And you can see I'm just kind of laying out my photos and making sure that everything is working. Now I'm going to cut a strip about 3 3¾ inch wide by 9 inches tall from the ledger paper. That's going to work there on the right side of the layout where I'll put all of my journaling. And I'm going to take these Lawn Fawn snowflake stamps and I'm just going to lay them out here on the corner. I've already printed my journaling now. I'm going to lay them out kind of how I think I want to stamp them before I actually go about stamping them. That way I kind of see how they look, and you can see I already moved them out of the way and I'm adjusting them, just changing them around a little bit. I find that I kind of know what I'm doing better if I start it this way at least. And that looks good. Even though that snowflake is going to overlay the journaling, once the ink dries, it's really kind of light, so you can read the journaling just fine through it. I'm going to use 3 colors of ink. I'm going to use the cough syrup and brown sugar from Jenny Bolin, and then the Baja Breeze from Stampin' Up. And I'm simply going to just start stamping my snowflakes in the corner. I started with that little trio of snowflakes, and now I'm going to go with the biggest snowflake that I'm going to use here. And as I get going, you'll see how much this dresses up the journaling block. It really ties the whole thing into the rest of the page and really gives something that was so blank and just kind of boring a whole new life. I really like how this looks. And I love that stamping allows you to customize different things to match your page, and you can use this so many different ways. And I'm stamping some of them, you can see, off the edge of the page. I think that really gives a more realistic look than trying to stamp the entire snowflake there on the page. They look like they're kind of coming off the edge, or maybe that's the way the paper was when you cut it, so it just gives it a more realistic look. So there is the bottom of my journaling block with the cute little snowflakes. And again, like I said, as they dry, they do lighten up a bit. Next, I'm going to stamp a couple of these phrases from the Hero Arts Christmas Greetings set. I'm going to stamp that phrase with the brown sugar ink. And then I'm going to use the Merry Christmas greeting. I'm going to lay that out there. My stamp is stained, that's why it looks black. I'm going to ink that up with the cough syrup ink and stamp it right above. And I love the look of the layered stamping like that. So there is kind of the subtitle, I would say, to my page, or kind of leads you into the rest of the journaling. You can see I have an accent there, and I'll show you how I made that in a minute. I'm going to go ahead and stamp the top portion of my journaling block, and I needed this piece so that I could kind of see where I needed to add my snowflakes, because I want the entire piece to kind of be cohesive. Again, using the same 3 colors of ink and just kind of stamping them off of the sides of the page and off of the corner. These are really fun snowflakes too. Very cute design. I'm going to stamp one right there by my title. And then I'll stamp a few more up there in the right corner. Next, to make these square accents, I'm simply going to grab one of these Hero Arts cling stamps. They're these little squares with snowflakes in them, and I'm going to ink up one of them. This is with the cough syrup. And then I'm going to take, I stamp that kind of purposely on the wider or ledger part of that piece. This is just a scrap piece of paper. And then I punch that out with a 1-inch square punch. Then I'm going to take a solid piece of paper, solid brown here, and I'm going to punch a square with this postage stamp square punch. I'm not quite sure where that came from, where that punch came from. I've had it for a while, and layer them. Next, I'm going to really speed through this process because there are so many photos and so many teeny tiny photos. It does take a little bit of time to put the page together. But you can see I started at the bottom and I'm working my way up. And I did round that bottom corner. I'm going to round all the corners on my page here, or on the inside pieces. Layering on my borders, and next I'm going to adhere all those little photos. So it's not really hard, but it does take a little bit of time just to adhere all of them. Trim off the extra. Next I'm going to sew a button to my stamped embellishment that I punched here just a little bit ago and tie a little bow. And I use some of the Divine Twine. They come in so many fun colors, and there's just so many uses for them. I really love this Divine Twine. It's very cute. I use the brown for this one. Next, I'm going to do the left side of the page very similarly, except this one I'm going to have a little bit more pattern paper simply because I have a little bit of open space where there won't be so many of the smaller, the 3x4 photos. Again, I'm just lining it up with the right side of the page that I've already done. You can see I kind of didn't cut my paper quite to size, but that's okay. I covered it up with the photos and you won't ever know. Line up my 3x4 photos and add my borders. Okay, next, I did print a little bit of journaling on this October afternoon sticker, and then I'm adding some of the Lawn Fawn stamps from the Say Cheese 2 collection, and I'm stamping them with the cough syrup red ink, and I stamped the friends and family. Then I'm taking the little ampersand there, and I'm going to stamp that with the brown sugar Jenny Bolin ink, so it says Friends and Family. Christmas card photos from friends and family. Then I'm going to simply tuck that behind the larger photos on the left side of the page. Again, I'm taking another October afternoon sticker. I'm going to stamp it with the date using the Lawn Fawn Say Cheese 2 stamp set. This is a wonderful, versatile set with so many little words and phrases that are perfect for all kinds of, especially scrapbook pages, I think. They'll work for anything, but I love the dates and the little phrases for scrapbook pages. Great for these little, like October afternoon label stickers especially. I did stamp those snowflakes on the ledger paper again. I'm going to use those for little tabs along that polka dot border. So the page is coming together. There's the date where I place the label sticker. I'm going to punch out that snowflake with a 3/4 inch circle punch. And I'm going to layer it on a 1-inch circle punch and then straighten one of the sides, and I'll adhere it up there along the border just to kind of finish off the edge and add just a little embellishment there. And then I'll add a gem. I don't think I shared that part there, but so you can see all the different stamped elements on the page really kind of help bring the layout to life. For more information on this layout, plus a list of supplies used to create it, please visit www.2peasinabucket.com on April 20th, 2011. Thanks for watching.